Hey sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am celebrating my 10 years of sewing. This is my sew-anniversary where I got myself a few little presents, as I would, if I was celebrating a birthday or an anniversary. This is my 10-year mark of sewing. I learned to sew in 2016. So last week I did a whole video on how that all started and how far I've come. I ended up kind of nominating my 10 favorite makes, one make from each of the last 10 years that I've been sewing. So I had kind of like a little walk down memory lane with that. And then today I'm capping off my celebration with sharing some lovely goodies that I got for myself. So I will start by saying that I budgeted for my sew-anniversary to treat myself to one sewing tool, one pattern, and one fabric. And as you can see, that's not quite what happened. Some things just they fell into my cart. I don't know how it happened. I do. Things were on sale and I had to get them, so I did. All of that a couple months ago about like destashing and all of that feels a little bit like out the window, but it's 10 years of sewing, so I gave it to myself. I decided to celebrate. So yeah, I will go into what I want to make with them. But the second thing I have to say is that buying fabric online is weird, and even though I've been doing this for a while, even though my literal job is to help people buy fabrics online, sometimes you get things and they are different than what you expect. So I had specific plans for each of these cuts of fabrics, but then somewhere along the way it changed, and so I might need your help coming up with a new idea for some of these. So I'll start off with a tool that I have been wanting for a long time, and that is this little gathering foot. I feel like sewing machine feet are very underrated, and I have a couple that came with my machine that I use all the time and really like make my life so much better. And I've heard a lot of people say that they really like using a gathering foot. I do quite a bit of gathering specifically on skirts, either at the waist or like adding tiers or ruffles. So I wanted to give it a try. I haven't tried it yet. I just got it, but I'm very excited. And I'd love to know if you happen to have one. Do you mostly use it for like ruffles, but do you also use it for like gathered sleeves? How much do you actually, like, is it worth, changing the foot for just like something little, or do you be like, yeah, I swear by this? So let me know. I'm really excited to try it. And yeah, this has been on my wish list for quite a while. It's really not even that expensive. Mine was 25 euros just from my like local shop. I'm sure if I'd really wanted to like save, I probably could have tried to find one used like on eBay or something. But yeah, for 25 bucks, if it really like changes my gathering game, it will definitely be worth it. So I'm going to hopefully give this a try this week. But yeah, that was my first little treat, a gathering foot for my machine. So my second little treat was a PDF pattern. Now I have been really trying to hold myself back because I have so many PDF patterns that I've collected over the last 10 years. And, but this one was one that I've really been waiting for. Like I have not seen this at least not in a size inclusive, by a size inclusive brand. So I was really excited when I saw that Delphine from Just Patterns released the Devon skirt. I was talking about wanting a skirt like this, I think like last fall, and I just couldn't find anything anywhere. I've seen it in ready to wear, but again, not in a pattern, or at least not a pattern that was size inclusive that I wanted to purchase from. And it was really kind of beyond what I felt confident in my pattern hacking abilities. I love a crisp, clean, very classic, chic, pleated detail. I really love inverted box pleats, or I like a knife pleat too, but I really love a box pleat. And I couldn't wrap my head around how to have that with some elasticated flexibility. And I've talked about it lots of times on this channel that my body changes throughout the day, throughout the season, throughout the month, like year to year. I'm just not really interested in making like super fitted garments that aren't going to be comfortable for me throughout the day, much less like season to season. So yeah, I definitely want elastics, and I just couldn't quite like mentally get those things together. So now there's a pattern out there and I bought it and I'm very excited to make the Devon skirt. So now we get into the fabrics, and I was only gonna get one, but I love all three of these so much, even though they are not what I was expecting them to be, all three of them. So I had plans. I thought I knew what I was gonna make with them. I was like gonna get them in the wash and just get going on them. But now I need a bit of a think because these two are different weights than I was expecting based on how they were categorized. Not the individual like product description, but like how they were categorized on the website. And then this one, they just didn't have the amount that I initially ordered. So this was going to be I keep wanting to call it a Delphine skirt because Delphine is who runs Just Patterns, but it's the Devon skirt. This was going to be a Devon skirt, but there wasn't actually enough fabric. They sent me what was left on the roll. So now I have to come up with new plans for all of these. So first up is this absolutely adorable cotton sateen from Lise Tailor. It has these just adorable, so cute little strawberries on it. And not just the strawberries themselves, but strawberry blossoms, which is, I think, like a theme and a motif that I really like. I love not just like blackberries or an orange print, but I really love when it's like the fruit and the blossom with it. So that has that here with these strawberries on this navy background. It's just so cute. And I thought this would be absolutely perfect for So Fruity coming up in the summer. Yeah, really cute. I got 2 meters of this thinking I was gonna make a blouse, but I should have listened to my gut about it, because when I saw the picture of the pattern, because Lise Tailor does like a fabric and a pattern that go out together. When I was looking at the blouse that they made on the model, I was thinking like it looked a little bit stiff. And so I was looking at it and I looked at the weight, and it's classified as a cotton sateen. It was on a fabric website with like, among other like classified as like cotton sateen. It was sateen, lawn, and Tana lawn and batiste was like the category, which is distinctly separate from their poplin, quilting, other types of cotton. So I was like, okay, it's going to be really lightweight. I looked at the weight and compared it to other lighter weight cottons, yeah, the lawns and things, and was like, oh, okay, it should be fine. It's not. It's quite stiff. So I should have like really let the picture inform me of that, because it was like, that's a real life make, where I could see the edges kind of standing up, which is fine. I just know that for myself, I don't like a lot of structured fabric on my top half. So I meant for this to be a blouse, but now seeing it here, I think it's probably going to need to be something else. I have 2 meters, which would be enough for like a little sundress, you know, something like strappy and short, or it could be a skirt. Could also be like a pair of shorts would be really fun for summertime. So if you have suggestions for a cotton sateen, yeah, it's gonna like gather up really well. It's gonna hold structure really nicely. But again, I do feel like I should have gone with my initial instinct about the weight of this fabric instead of just looking at the numbers. So that's on me for sure. And I'll just have to find a different idea for this lovely strawberry cotton sateen. So at least where I am, there are a handful of fabric brands that like pretty much will never go on sale, or there'll be like the exception of like everything's on sale except for Atelier, Brunette, and Liberty, and there's a handful of other ones, and that is what I happened to snag. So I wanted to show them to you. This one I got for a pair of trousers, and then when it came, I realized I do need to pivot my plan, so maybe you can help me with that. This is the Atelier Brunette Oat Stripe cotton, and I believe it's labeled as a cotton poplin, at least on the site where I bought it from. And I gotta say, I don't think this is a poplin. I wouldn't call this a poplin. It is so soft. It has like a chambray type weave to it. I'll try to open it up for you a little bit here. Yeah, so it's not entirely opaque, which for trousers is kind of important. It could still work for like a really floaty, like beachy kind of pair of pants, but I'm not sure that that is what I want. I was initially going for this pair, this ready-to-wear pair that I've been seeing everywhere of this like black and brown stripe. It's kind of a barrel leg, so it would need some structure for that. And it's got the vertical stripe, but then the fabric is turned 90 degrees for the like cuff, and I think it looks super cool. That's what I wanted from this, but I think it is just too soft and drapey and not quite opaque enough. So I'm kind of going back to the drawing board with this one. It is absolutely gorgeous. It feels amazing. I definitely want it like on my body. Oh, I think I'm showing you, I think this is actually the right side. The blue is a little bit brighter over here, but yeah, it's so pretty. I have 2.5 meters, so I could do like a long flowy dress. I could do, I could probably do the Devon skirt actually, which was, spoiler, my plan for this fabric, but isn't gonna work for that for a different reason. So I could probably do that. I could do a little dress or maybe like a little overshirt would be really nice in this. It's super lightweight. So yeah, I have 2.5 meters. If you have suggestions, let me know. So I've definitely talked on here before about how I love sewing Liberty Tana lawn. It is, yeah, one of my favorite fabrics to sew and wear. It does everything that you want it to do when you're cutting and sewing it. Like it presses really well, it doesn't shift around, but then on the body, it is still like, it has a little bit of drape, somehow holds structure really nicely. Like I think it's very magical. It's a very magical fabric. But for one, it is crazy expensive. And for two, I really don't like a lot of the prints generally. I think they're very cute, but they're not for me most of the time, being just like a bit too far on the like sweet girly feminine side. A lot of them are like ditzy florals in pastel colors and just not really my thing. So when I saw that not only was Nanucci having a sale, they also had a couple of like non-floral Liberty prints, and I managed to pick up this one. What's it called? It's called Royal Theater. I like that they all have names too. I really like when fabrics have names. I would get most of my fabric like from the market, and it's usually dead stock or, you know, whatever. So when it has names, it feels so fancy. So this is Royal Theater, and it's kind of like a citron. It was categorized as a yellow, but it's very much like a green yellow. I think it is really cute. It's maybe not the best for like right up by my face, but I am really excited about it. And in buying it, I was thinking that I was going to make the Devon skirt that I just got, which requires 2.5 meters of fabric. And that's what I ordered. And I got a message saying that the end of the roll ends at 2 meters, not 2.5. So what, do I still want it? I was like, yes, I absolutely still want it. But it means that I can't do a full out maxi skirt. So that kind of brings me like back to the drawing board, because I'm not sure that I just want to make the same thing but shorter, you know? So I have 2 meters. I could do some kind of like scoop neck blouse, you know, something that's not going to be like have a collar, like a buttoned up collar right on my face in this color, but maybe like something strappy or like with a scoop neck, or in the same vein, a little mini dress like that. I know that I can get the Helen's Closet Reynolds out of 2 meters with a little bit of pattern Tetris there. Might be tricky with this pattern, but can probably do that one. And I know the Lockart dress, the mini version, I think is only like 1.5 meters for my size. So I could definitely get something like that, a little strappy summer dress out of this. But yeah, if you have any other ideas, do let me know. Yeah, I'm very excited to sew with this one. Again, they always just do exactly what you want. They press so well, they sit really well on the body. I love them. I love this like more geometric, I guess it is still, there are still flowers, but this feels more like architectural or like geometric than a full-on floral. So I'm a big fan and I got a really good deal on it. So really happy about that. But now I just need some ideas. So that is everything that I got to commemorate my sew-anniversary, my 10 years of sewing. Hopefully this hasn't felt too like narcissistic. And that's kind of always the danger on YouTube here. But I do think that it is really important to celebrate our wins and our milestones. And this was definitely one for me that I wanted to take a little time and to celebrate and to think about. So I would encourage, if you have other areas in your life, whether it's your 1 year of sewing or 2 years since you remodeled your house, you know, like whatever milestone you have, like I do think it's important to take a minute and reflect and to celebrate, because there's so much going on that we can all use a little hype up for ourselves and a little celebration of a win. So this was mine. Next time I probably won't go quite so, I feel pretty extravagant. I have only bought one other fabric this year, but I'm really trying to pull back, use a bit more of what I have. So this is definitely the exception, but I'm really, really excited, not just for what they're going to become, but I'm really excited for the sewing process. All of them are cottons. Like this dress I made a couple years ago. It's a viscose twill. Love the outcome. Did not really enjoy the sewing process. It was quite difficult. But these ones will all be like really fun and nice, and I'm very excited for that. Even though it did mean I had to kind of change my plans up a little bit. Again, if you have any suggestions, what you think, again, they are 2 meters, 2.5, and 2 meter cuts. So let me know what your ideas are. I will be getting these pre-washed and then stewing on what I want to make with them. Hopefully coming up for the summer. I'm working on finishing a couple of my spring plans before I transition next month into a new set of things to make for, a couple months. So that's what I've got kind of coming up on my horizon. I would love to know what you are up to. If you've got any new fabrics that you are excited about, or if you're, abstaining, as I will now be for probably the next few months. Definitely let me know. I'd love to know what you're making, what you're up to. If you're doing creative pursuits outside of sewing, that's also very interesting to me as well. I've started doing painting by numbers. I used to really paint a lot, but this is totally a tangent. But I'm just getting into like some more creative things as I'm working on redecorating my house. So if you have things like that, I'm totally here for it too, or cooking, whatever. Definitely let me know either down below or on the YouTube community tab. You can message me there. I'm over on Threadloop as well as Instagram now, so hit me up. I'm where the sewing, I want to be where the sewing is. I want to be where the sewing people are. Yeah, so hit me up wherever you are, whatever you're up to. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye!